Okay, so next I would like to move the last speaker of the keynote session. So can you show the slide of the, yes, thank you very much. Okay, I would like to invite Professor Dr. Hadi Wiano from, Surat Samaret University, Indonesia. Okay, Professor Hadi Wiano graduated from Universitas Gadjah Mada, and then he got MSc in IPB, Institute Petranian Bogor. My pronunciation is correct? Okay, so he got PhD at Universitas General Sudirman. Is it okay? Okay, thank you very much. Okay, his expertise area is plant pathology. Okay, please give your presentation if you are ready.
Okay, thank you very much. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everybody. And how are you today? Fine. I hope you was very happy. And for me, this day may be very happy. It's my second comings in this Kifu University. Thank you, committee, has invited me. Ladies and gentlemen, as from the committee that I should be have a sharing of about the effect of global warming on the development of tropical plant diseases. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. First, I would like to show the systematization of contents our presentation. First, for introduction, I would like to talk about the important role of the environment on plant disease, and second, effect global warming on tropical plant health. Third, effect of global warming on tropical plant pathogen. Fourth, effect global warming on insect-borne diseases, and fifth, and I would like to share interesting cases of plant disease epidemics, such as an impact of global warming. And six, for closing, I will talk about the mitigation through plant health management. We try with the introductions that the ladies and gentlemen, we realize that global warming and its impact are hard to avoid. And global warming impact all aspects of nature and life. Plant pathogen or plant pathogen are no exceptions. And also the interaction of plant and pathogen also, I think, also no exceptions. So because our title talk about the climate change, I would in this slide I would like to what is it? Talk about the characteristics of tropical climate, especially characteristics in Indonesians that they have position on the equators from 6 to 11 degrees south latitude and 95 to 141 degree east latitude. Characteristic tropical climates in this tropical is significant difference from the subtropicals. In the tropical climates, temperature, for instance, high average temperature and then high humidity and high annual rainfall. Yeah, and it is very different with the characteristic of the subtropical climate, and maybe can be representative by the temperature, because the subtropicals have summer and winter, so the temperature range may be very wider, much wider than tropical. Yeah. So this condition, this environment, I think will affect the organism living in it. Okay, because we talk the disease, we must what is it? Review about the concept of plant disease related the effect of environment to plant disease occur. Basically, that the disease can occur if plant genetically susceptible and at a susceptible state. Second, pathogen is genetically virulent and at virulent states. And third, the environments must be favorable for expressing host plant susceptibility, phenotype, and pathogen virulence. So briefly, that the three factors should support these interactions. If one factors not support, the disease will not occur. Okay, we come to the next. Okay, we talk one by one from the three factors. First, the influence environmental changes on plants on hosts. And we talk plant head. Plant head is a phenotype of plant. That the result of interaction between plant phenotype and environment. The result of interaction of plant and pathogen, at least there are four grades of interaction or type of result of interaction. First, resistance. Resistance means that actually the disease occur, but in mild disease intensity. And susceptible, the disease occur and severe disease. And tolerable, and the disease severe but mild impact. And the last, immune, mean that no disease. The disease can occur because the interactions between pathogen and plant is incompatible. Or maybe if we talk about the genetic, maybe the disease is the result of a genetical reaction between plant genetic and pathogen genetic. So in this case, immune means that the interaction is incompatible. Anyway, we continue with the plant head. Related the impact of global warming to plant head. Many way can increase the plant head, the global warming. First, that the global warming that maybe can will change climate and weather and increase air and soil temperature. The temperature will increase the respiration. We know the respiration is a burn of carbon. So in this case, the carbon result of photosynthesis burns through respiration or through oxidations. So what this is sometimes called as the energy losses, because the carbon that resulted from the photosynthesis burns through respiration. The second, that the change of climate and also temperature will affect of population pest, increasing pests. Pests can directly, can cause damage plant, and indirectly the pests also take a role as a factors of pathogen. So in this case, this is the second, if the population increase, factor increase, so maybe the disease will increase. And then that the maybe I will want to stress global warming as an impact of global warming also can cause a physiologic disease. Physiologic disease mean that the disease caused by what unfavorable condition from such as also including the environmental stress or non-pathogenic or non-infectious disease. The problem, the more problem that the physical disease can predispose infectious disease. So the problem to be complicated that especially some disease, especially weak pathogen. Usually weak pathogen will increase the virulence if get host with in weak condition. So it is that many way and the end can declining grow and zealous of plant. We move to effect of global warming on tropical plants pathogen. Commonly, the organism in tropical zones that they have what is it? They adapt in the temperature range, temperature in tropicals. They survive and will increase the biological activity at range around 15, maybe about 15 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius. So in this case, also plant pathogen will, if they what is it in around temperature increase, they also increase the growth, the population, and the activity. Okay, it is an examples. At least three bacterial diseases on onion that they increase with the increasing the temperature. Okay, we in this moment I also going to talk what is it. I would like to share about the risk of climate change on plant necrotrophic disease. Necrotrophic disease mean that before absorb, before take nutrition or food from host cells, they must be killing the cells. After killing, then the pathogen takes the nutrition and food from the killed cells. It necrotrophic, and the characteristics of necrotrophic pathogen, they what is this? Will more virulence. On the virulence will increase in the weak plant. So the environmental stress that makes weak plant can increase the risk of necrotrophic plant diseases. Climate change will increase the risk of necrotrophic plant diseases. This I give some examples, such as basal rot of garlic, basal plate rot of shallot, that I will discuss more in the next slide, and so on, and many necrotrophic pathogen. Yeah, and also it is important also. If we talk climate or weather, maybe all phytopathologists will remember with the what is it that the disease occur, and disease explosive will determine or close related to the what is it, the weather. What is it? The epidemic disease. The characteristics of very epidemic disease very determined by the weather, especially air humidity. If the air humidity condition above 40, 80% are reached for a long time, it will be very damaging to plant. This condition can be, what is it? The impact of global it is, can occur. So for epidemic disease, an early warning system based on the weather forecasting is very important in what is it to plant disease management. And this, I give some examples that in tropical disease, tea blister blight, potato leaf blight, coffee leaf rust, and so on. We move to effect global warming on insect-borne diseases. The influence of environmental changes on plant vectors may be many variation. It depends on the symbiosis closeness between vector and pathogen. In this slide, I saw at least there are three grades of the closeness or symbiosis between vector and pathogen. First, persistence. Persistent means the obligate in this case, in this what is it? It is create that the pathogen or transmitting must be in the vector's body, must be acquired by the vectors, because they must be replicate or reproduction in the body of vectors. Yeah, and usually need a latent period because the pathogen needs what it is time to reproduction and until the what it is certain abundance, and so the vector to be effective, to be effective for transmitting. And second, semi-persistent. Semi-persistent that the when vectors obtains pathogen, they directly can transmit the pathogen, but they cannot persist for a long time, usually not more than 1 day. And the last is non-persistent or non-obligate. Yeah, the pathogen is not the transmission not depend on the vectors, but the vectors can transmit the pathogen usually through the what they say the contaminants, contain the insect modes. So they cannot stand for a long time. Usually just few minutes or no longer than 1 hour. It is, I will show that the insect borne, most maybe the important disease may be transmitted by insects or called as the insect borne. That insect is Poikilotherium organism. The Poikilotherium organisms mean that the body's temperature determines by the environments they stay, they live in. So in this case, that we know that the temperature, the increased temperature will affect of the physiology of organism, and also maybe totally can accelerate the growth of adult insect, and also can speed up hatching insect eggs. Yeah. We go to fight that in this I would like to share about the interesting cases of plant disease epidemic suspected as an impact of global warming based on our experience and our research. First, on the first case that Fusarium wilt or basal rot of garlic in Tawangmangu, Karanganyar, Central Java, Indonesia, caused by Fusarium oxysporum formaspiris CP that emerged in 1999. This phenomena strongly suspected as the impact of global warming. Nah, Sick Eligius when pathogen started attacking garlic in Tawangmangu, maybe just need 7 years to cover or to distribute it to all garlic fields in Tawangmangu. And I see, and it is make sense that the what is it? The case of basal rot of garlic Tawangmangu related the global warming that can see the change of temperature, and now that in Tawangmangu, not so cool as previous, and now the currents that maybe not so different with the in lowland, for instance in Surakarta, altitude that at 100 meters above sea water level. In Tawangmangu, and especially for garlic field, at in between the 1,000 to the 600 meters above sea water level. The what is it? The temperature, the average of temperature reach 26. In lowlands, in Surakarta, 27. So it is logic that what is it? They occur on the case of the basal rot that so far to be important disease in Tawangmangu is related to global warming. It also supported by the results of research the done by our student that the effect of temperature in bioculture, the pathogen is increase the temperature until 35 is increased. And also maybe in the other research also that the increasing temperature can increase the disease and disease severity and disease incident. Disease incident mean the percentage of disease plant, and this without consider the grades of severity, but the disease severity is disease intensity that with consider the severity in the grade of severity. Anyway, continue the second case. Second case, epidemic molar disease in Brebes, Central Java in Indonesia. Molar disease actually in the cause of molar disease seems that the basal rot of garlic in Tawangmangu. That is Fusarium oxysporum formaspiris CP. Called molar disease because the characteristic symptom is twisting, molar in Japanese. The local farmer also calls anoles. I think the name of a singer woman who is popular to her shaking ass and trailing because tweeting or shaking. And molar disease is also called as a janda pirang. Janda pirang maybe the predicate that given by the farmers in a local farmer in Brebes years ago. Maybe if we searching in internet, maybe we can catch the predicate. And why call it janda pirang? Because turn yellow and then dry out. So the color, if we look from far side, looks, what is it? The albino or pirang. Pirang mean albino. And at that time, the weather and was very hot. Is based on the results of the farmer, our colleagues, or research colleagues. They did monitor the temperature, especially at noon, can reach 40 to 50 Celsius degree. I think very hot for tropical. Yeah. And soil temperature between 27 to 35 Celsius degree. It, based on the previous slide, it's optimal for growth rate of pathogen. So it is strongly suspected that janda pirang disease is a complicated disease caused by Fusarium oxysporum formationis predisposed by extreme weather, especially temperature, as impact of global warming. Because the Fusarium oxysporum CP is a weak pathogen, so because the plant was stressed by actually such temperature, so plant salads to be weak and to be susceptible to the infectious from Fusarium. Okay, for the last, for closing that, I will, what is it? I would like to, what is it? Maybe just for recommendation, mitigation through plant health management. I mean that it actually not just for that, maybe many other strategies can be developed. But in this occasion, I just emphasize four, what is it? Just emphasize 4 strategies. First, early warning system. Based weather forecasting station to determine, I think it is important to can proper planting sequence and proper planting time and proper plant time and also varieties. And also, and the first slide also, I explained later the epidemic disease. I think it is also important for predicting epidemic disease and the population of disease vectors. The second is develop several varieties. That first, that resistant to environmental stress, and second, resistant to infection disease, and resistant to disease vector space. And then the strategy, good culture practices such as use mulch to reduce evaporation, use of organic fertilizers to minimize the stress, because the organics fertilizers can increase soil water holding capacity, and so what is it, can increase the tolerance of plants to drought, and also increase soil fertility, so maybe can promote plant to, what is it, the root zone maybe will be wider. And then induce resistance biologically. Yeah, actually, I as a plant pathology and I feel in biological control maybe most interested in this. Many microorganisms have been reported that they have potential to or as inducers of plant resistance, both to the environmental stress and also to the infectious disease. such as plant growth promoting rhizobacteria, mycorrhiza, and so on. And last, water management. I think it's important, but for collecting rainwater with reservoirs to irrigate plants in dry season, and also effective irrigation such as drip irrigation system. Anyway, before I get back the time to the MC, I have a slogan. Plants healthy, human healthy. If plants are healthy, human will be healthy. Thank you very much. Again.